इस वीडियो को हिंदी भाषा में देखने के लिए सेटिंग्स में जाकर हिंदी ऑडियो चुनें। Namaskar and welcome to Simplify Your Space. In today's video, I'm going to share some tried and tested cooking tips that have been incredibly helpful in my cooking routine. I am not a cooking expert, but over time I have learned a bit about cooking, and these tips not only save time and effort but also make the cooking process much easier. If a few simple hacks can simplify our cooking routine, then why not give them a try? So without further ado, let's get started with today's video. Let's start with parathas. It's winter and there is nothing more delightful than enjoying hot and fresh mooli and gobi parathas during this season. However, preparing parathas usually requires grating mooli and gobi, which can feel time consuming and tedious. Want to know an easy hack? Simply chop the radish and cauliflower roughly and put them in a chopper. In no time, you will have finely chopped stuffing ready for your parathas. You can even add coriander leaves and green chilies at this time. No need for grating, your chopper does the job quickly and efficiently. Now go ahead and make delicious mooli and gobi parathas for yourself and enjoy. Now many people face the issue of their mooli and gobi parathas tearing while cooking. Let me share my way of making the parathas. First, your dough should be of right consistency. It should neither be too hard nor too soft. Knead it well for about 10 minutes. Next, add salt to the chopped mooli and gobi and let it sit for 5 to 10 minutes. After that, squeeze out all the excess water. You will notice a lot of water comes out. Even after this, parathas sometimes break. Here is what you need to do. Add all the other spices and ajwain etc. except salt. Don't add salt at this stage. Your stuffing is now ready. Take a portion of dough and roll it out. Place the stuffing in the center, and this is when you sprinkle salt over it. Then seal and roll it carefully. This method ensures your parathas won't break. Adding salt directly to the mooli and gobi causes them to release water, making the parathas more likely to tear. By adding salt at the last step, you will get perfectly cooked parathas. Look at how perfectly crisp and delicious the mooli paratha has turned out. In the same way, we will prepare the gobi paratha as well. Hope you found this tip helpful. During winters, along with parathas, carrot halwa is almost a staple in every household. However, one common challenge while making carrot halwa is grating the carrots, especially if you're preparing halwa with 3-4 kilos of carrots. Here you can use the same hack to save time and effort. Roughly chop the carrots and use a chopper to finely chop them. An electric chopper works best as it allows you to process the carrots quickly, but a manual string chopper can also do the job. If you have a food processor, you can chop a large quantity of carrots at once. And there you have it, carrots ready for making halwa. Now follow your usual recipe to prepare the halwa. I used this method to make halwa and it turned out delicious. When making halwa or any dessert, we often need to roast nuts and manually chop or slice them, which can be quite time consuming. Instead, you can use your chopper to quickly chop nuts. An electric chopper or string chopper, both are ideal to chop nuts faster and effortlessly. Here is another useful hack for you. If you regularly prepare halwa, kheer or other desserts at home, roast a batch of nuts, chop them and store them in a container in the freezer. This eliminates the hassle of roasting and chopping nuts every time. Whenever you make a dessert, you can quickly use these pre-chopped nuts. Plus, they are perfect for garnishing desserts when serving, as they add a touch of elegance. Having pre-chopped nuts ready makes garnishing much easier and more convenient. Although paneer is easily available in the market, complaints about adulterated paneer have become quite common. That's why many people prefer making paneer at home, which is actually very easy. Heat the milk, and once the milk comes to a boil, add lemon juice or vinegar to curdle it. Then simply separate the chena, curdled milk solids, from the whey to make paneer. Most people use a muslin cloth to strain the chena, but handling the hot cloth can be tricky and washing it later can be a hassle. I prefer using this paneer maker, which I have been using for years. I place the paneer maker over a large pot with a strainer underneath to make it sturdy and collect all the whey. The chena gets collected in the paneer maker and then I press it down with its lid. To ensure all the whey is squeezed out, place a heavy object on top of the lid. Leave it for an hour and you will have perfectly set paneer. One advantage of using this paneer maker is that it shapes the paneer into a neat rectangular block, making it easier to cut into equal sized cubes. Now you can use this homemade paneer in any recipe and all your dishes will turn out delicious. Plus, since it's homemade, there is no worry about adulteration or impurities. Now let's make a tasty snack for kids, pizza paratha. Start by finely chopping some onion, capsicum and corn using a chopper. You will also need pizza sauce and cheese slice. Take a large portion of dough and roll it out into a roti. Make a cut on one side of the roti, then divide it into 4 sections for folding. In the first section, spread pizza sauce. In the second, place the chopped vegetables. In the third, add a slice of cheese. And in the fourth, sprinkle some pizza seasoning. Fold each section one by one to form a triangle. Once folded, gently roll it out, ensuring the stuffing does not spill out. Cook it like you would a regular paratha on a hot tawa and your delicious pizza paratha is ready. The layers are so tempting and trust me, it's incredibly tasty. Kids love it, so do give it a try. Next tip is related to Delona coffee. It's made by whipping the coffee mixture. but doing it by hands takes a lot of time. Many people use a small electric frother, which makes the process much quicker and results in a perfect foam. But what if you have many guests coming over? Today I'm going to show you how you can make Delona coffee in bulk. The ingredients are the same. What you need is either a hand mixer or electric whisker or a stand mixer. If you have a stand mixer, the job becomes really easy. You don't have to do much at all. Here I am taking 10 teaspoons of instant coffee and the same quantity of sugar and hot water. Now I will use the stand mixer to whisk it, and within 4 to 5 minutes you will have a beautifully whipped coffee mixture. Look how perfectly the coffee mix got ready. You can store this in the fridge for 1 to 2 days, but make sure to keep it in an airtight container. When guests arrive, just take the mix out, add either cold or hot milk, whichever you prefer, and serve. Isn't this a great hack for quickly making coffee for many people? The last tip is related to making puris. Whenever you make puris, if you add a little semolina or rava and milk to the dough, it will knead much better and the puris will turn out tastier and crispier. For example, I have taken 2 cups of wheat flour, added 2 tablespoons of rava, 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil, salt to taste, half a cup of milk and half a cup of water. I have used my dough maker machine to prepare the dough, but if you are kneading by hand, just use the same ratio of ingredients. Adding milk has the added benefit of keeping the puris soft for a long time so they don't spoil quickly. If you prefer to take puris while traveling, this recipe ensures they will stay fresh and soft for an extended period. Now let's talk about rolling puris. To be honest, I am not very good at rolling puris because they are typically rolled with oil. And if you use flour, the oil for frying gets spoiled. A puri presser is very useful tool for rolling puris. First, prepare dough balls and set them aside. Then lightly grease both plates of the puri presser with oil. Place a dough ball in the center and press it down by closing the top plate and pressing the handle. Your perfectly round puris will be ready in no time. If you are an expert at rolling puris, you might not need this tool. But for someone like me who struggles with rolling puris, it's a lifesaver. This tool also comes in handy when you have guests and need to make a lot of puris quickly. You can roll and fry simultaneously. There are 2 varieties available in this, a light one and heavy one. I recommend buying the heavy duty puri maker, preferably made of iron, as it is much sturdier when pressing the puris. And that's all for today. I hope you liked these kitchen tips. If you did, don't forget to like and share. Subscribe to Simplify Your Space for more videos like this. I'll see you all next week. Until then, happy cooking from Simplify Your Space. Bye bye.